My name is Raz Lahari and this is Excellence. Today we are going to discuss CSS English papers. Here, if you look at the CSS exam, there are two papers. There are two papers. One paper is Tracy and Composition. That is 100 marks and time is 3 hours for that. Second paper is essay. You are given 10 topics. Out of these 10 topics, you will have to write an essay on only one topic in 3 hours. And the word limit is 3,000 words for this paper. So let us see what is this Tracy and Composition paper and what is the essay paper. Today, we will discuss the introduction. What are these papers? Now, Tracy and Composition. This is the first paper. Composition. Question number 1, 2, question number 3, 5. There are 7 questions in paper Tracy and Composition paper. Some of the questions, they have fixed topics, such as this first question. This is separate section. It is objective type. There are 20 subparts. It consists of synonyms and antonyms. There are 10 synonyms and 10 antonyms. Total 20. And this question or this section is in the form of MCQs. Multiple choice options. You are given multiple options against each subpart, and you have to choose only one. So it's objective type. There will be 10 synonyms and 10 antonyms. Total 20. So total marks for this first question, total marks are 20. Similarly, question number 2, 20 marks, 3, also 20 marks. Now, question number 1 is objective, synonyms and antonyms in the form of MCQs. You will have to choose 20. And so basically, this question is about vocabulary. Then question number 2, fixed again. This question number 2 here, subjective portion starts. This is our part number 2 or section number 2. This question is always précis. That is always précis writing. Précis writing is there's one paragraph or sometimes a passage. If it is a single paragraph, it is called paragraph. It has more than one paragraph, and it's called a passage. So in CSS exams, usually it is a paragraph or sometimes it is a passage. I think that a passage should be given. But FPSC usually they sometimes give a paragraph, sometimes they give a passage. So there can be one paragraph, single paragraph, or it can be more than one paragraph. You will have to reduce it into 1/3. 1/3. So précis will be 20 marks. You will have to reduce it to 1/3, 1/3. If it is 100 words, 33. If there are 300 words, you will have to reduce it to 100 words. Question number 3, that is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension. Here, this is about reading comprehension. there is a passage, and after passage there will be questions like 1 subpart, 2, 3, and 4. Total marks are 20 for this, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 divided by 20, 5 marks for this, 5 for this, 5 for this, 5 for this. So this one, last part, again, it's not fixed. Sometimes words meanings, you have to write meanings of words. Words are given and you have to write. But sometimes you have to give your comments on it. Right? Like separate instructions are given if you have to give comments. Because in tracing and reading comprehension, you can't give your own comments. So here, sometimes fourth part is about words meanings, but not always. Usually there are questions. So these 3, 1, 2, 3, there'll be short questions here in these. 3 short questions. Sometimes the fourth one is also a short question, but here. So there will be 4 questions, and each will have 5. But if they change it to 5 questions, then it means each one will be of 4 marks. But usually 4 subparts are given, and there are short questions based on the passage, and you will have to answer those questions. The answers must be to the points. And this part sometimes gives you objective marks. If it is words meanings, you can get 100% marks in that. So question number 1, objective. This one is also, it can be. Fifth part. Question number 4. Last year in 2020 exam, it was corrections. 10 marks. 10 corrections, but not always. Like if you look at from 2016, this paper was revised, it was changed. 17, 18. Here, 4 was divided into part A and B. Part A was correction, and part B can be punctuation, or it can be something else. So it's not always fixed that it will be just corrections. They can be corrections, they can be part A, B, in one part corrections, next part they can be analogies or prepositions or any other, direct and indirect, so, or it can be punctuation. So this is like question number 4, its pattern is not fixed. It can be corrections or it can be 2 parts. If there are 2 parts, then each part will be 5 marks. If it is only 1 part, it will be 10 marks. Question number 5 has 2 parts, subparts. It is divided into 2 subparts, A and B. 6 also, it is divided into A and B. And question number 7 is translation. It is translation. 10 marks are given for this translation. And question number 5, 6. 6 part is about phrasal verbs, and idioms. Phrasal verbs and idioms, and here, pair of words. Words liable to be confused, or confusing words. And part 5, this one will be punctuation, direct and indirect, and sometimes prepositions are also added. Like in 2020, prepositions were added. So some of the questions in this paper are fixed. Like question number 1, fixed, objective type. Question number 2, Tracy, fixed. Question number 3, Tracy, reading comprehension, that is the same question will be given. But 4, 5, and 6, they can change. Basically in 4, 5, and 6, there will be 2 parts, morphology and syntax. What is morphology and syntax? Morphology and syntax is English grammar or any grammar or mechanics that is divided into 2 parts. One is grammar of words, and the other type of grammar is grammar of sentences. So what they do, they include different topics from both. You must have knowledge of words and sentence structure, and they are checked, like direct, indirect, punctuation, corrections, prepositions. Sometimes analogies were also added. Analogies, they could be added. Similarly, pair of words, phrasal verbs, idioms. So these are the question types which are being given, or the examiner when he sets the paper include these topics. So for 4, 5, and 6, you need to prepare tenses, corrections, punctuation, direct, indirect, active, passive, pair of words, prepositions, phrasal verbs, idioms. And question number 7. Now this question number 7 is new. It is new, and it was added in 2016 when this paper was revised. And this is a paragraph is given, and you have to translate that paragraph from Urdu to English. In BA exam, in many universities, in FA exam, there's a paragraph, in metric as well. Similarly, Balochistan Public Service Commission provincial exams, they also include translation. So question number 7 is new, but this is consistent now over the years, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this question is fixed, and it always translation will be given. 4, 5, and 6 may have here parts, or 4, 5, and 6, some of the questions may not have parts in them, but topics are being repeated sometime. This topic may be excluded sometime, another topic can be added, but basically you have to work on grammar and vocabulary. Here, tenses, active, passive, direct, indirect, prepositions, corrections. These are some of the topics which are highly likely to appear in the paper. They may be included in the papers. So you will have to work on these things. So this is paper Tracy and composition. That is number 1, objective type, synonyms and antonyms. Number 2, Tracy. Number 3, reading comprehension. 4, 5, and 6 will have corrections, punctuation, preposition, direct and indirect, pair of words, phrasal verbs, idioms. And question number 7, it has translation. Total marks for this paper are 100 marks, 100 marks, and total time for this paper is 3 hours. 3 hours, and there will be 7 questions. Now, how will you prepare about these papers? Well, the simplest and the easiest approach is, number 1, make a list of the topics that you will have to prepare. And number 2, then you will have to organize those in the order of from easy to difficult. It is all because if you start Tracy, this is the most important question, Tracy. It is only one question, but look at the name of the paper. That is Tracy and composition. So Tracy, it means that it is very important. Although it's one question, but it's half of the title of the paper is Tracy. So it means that it is the most important question. And some people say that if you don't do well in Tracy, it will be very difficult for the examiner or for you to clear the paper. So you will have to, in practice, in theory, it has 20 marks, but in practice, you must clear Tracy. If you are unable to understand Tracy, then it will be technically, well, if you mathematically calculate marks without Tracy, you can clear the paper. But in practice, it's like some people believe that it's not possible. So you'll have to work on it. But if you start solving Tracy from day 1, it'll be impossible. It's just like jumping the stairs 10 step from 1 to 10 step, leaving the steps in the middle. That is not possible. You'll have to. So what is the best of it? Look at different papers, reading comprehension, Tracy, translation. If you look at the paper, you will see that, well, we can see the paper and we can make our own order. And the order will be easy to difficult. Easy to difficult. So what is this easy to difficult approach? Number 1, if you look at the questions, you will see that some of the questions have only words. Just you must have knowledge of words. Then some of the papers have knowledge of sentences. And some of them have you must have the knowledge of paragraphs. And then some of the questions have the knowledge of a passage. So you must have knowledge of words, sentence, paragraph, and passage. This is how you should go. Knowledge of words. Which questions will be prepared? Question number 1. Synonyms. Antonyms. Synonyms, antonyms, pair of words, Analogies, phrasal verbs, idioms. This is like if you look at it here, phrasal verbs, idioms. This is gone. That's number one. That is gone. And here this part, sometimes this part is here. If you look at it, you will see that here 10 marks for this, 10 marks for this, 10 plus 20, 30, plus 5, 35 marks. So 35 marks are objective. If you prepare well, 35 marks, that is done. And now let's go to sentence. Which question about sentence? Look at this punctuation. You will have to correct a sentence because there will be some sign that is missing, which is also part of sentence. Full stop, comma. No, they are the is they are is helping verb. The is article, that is different. Punctuation is marks of punctuation like full stop, comma, or question mark, inverted commas. That is different. So here, these are the signs of or marks of punctuation. Then corrections. One sentence at a time, corrections. You will have to do that. Corrections, that is in punctuation, direct and indirect. And prepositions. You will have to complete one sentence. And then comes paragraph. Paragraphs, that is translation. Here, you will have to start translations. And passage. This is Tracy and reading comprehension. Here there may be more than one paragraphs. So these two, you can combine these two, and this way we have three major portions in our paper that we need to prepare. Number one, we need to prepare vocabulary, words. And for this, where to start? Well, you should know when you start first part, second part, and third. So we can start, or the students should start from the part one, first part, because that is the easiest. You have to learn words. Number one, you can learn words from dictionary. Number two, you can download GRE word lists. GRE word lists and learn some words every day. Every day you can learn those words. Number two, there are books of vocabulary. Those books are very useful, such as Instant Vocabulary, Word Smart. There are a lot of books, but I like this book, Word Power Made Easy. Word Power. Here, this book by Norman Lewis. Norman Lewis. That is a very good book. What we have to do here in Word Power Made Easy, each chapter, this book has 11 chapters, and each chapter has sessions. And each session has 10 new words. 10 new words. And what he has done, he has divided those sessions into number one, 10 new words based on theme, like profession, like actions. Like, for example, if there's one section about people, doctors, for example, or description of personality or character, such as like 10 words will be given, like egoist, egotist, altruist, introvert, extrovert, ambivert, like 10 words will be given. And those 10 words, then he gives theme of each word. Egoist. Egoist means the word is combination of ego. Ego means I. So the person who thinks about I himself is an egoist. He explains the theme in the form of a short paragraph, and after that, then he goes to, he has also added pronunciation, like how to pronounce these words properly. And then there are exercises. After explaining the meaning, there are exercises like netting, fill in the blanks, and there are some exercises. Once you solve those exercises, it'll be over, the session will be over, and by the end of the session, you will learn 10 new words. And these 10 new words we learn within 10 minutes. Each session, after working on this book for 3 to 4 days, you will have 10 new words after the end of each session. It will take only 10 minutes. But if you want to do it quickly and you want to improve your speed, then first you can prepare a GLE word list and then you can go ahead with it. Third method of improving vocabulary is every day read Dawn newspaper, Newsweek, and other international and local newspapers, national, international. Like you can read them, and especially in Pakistan, CSS exam usually is data or statistical information that is taken from Dawn newspaper. So you can learn that newspaper and try to get information from the newspaper plus new words. Why? Because how they are used in this context. It will be easy for you to remember them. And another method of improving vocabulary is reading books. When you read books, that will be helpful. For example, if you're studying Ariel Durant, Bill Durant, Bertrand Russell, you will learn some new words and those. Another thing that you can do is make a list of important terms. Terms in, like if you are taking political science or you've taken IR, there will be terms. Terms on economy, on medicine, on politics. So you can select terms and you can learn those terms. So if you have a word list and make it a habit that every day you can have dictionary. For example, Lenin. Lenin was a very famous Russian leader. He did not have proper knowledge or he had not studied books. But what he used to do, he had a dictionary placed on his table. Whenever he was free in his office, he used to open the dictionary and used to study words. So knowledge of words could be very helpful, and nobody can say that Lenin was not well versed with the art of politics and other things. He seemed to be a well read person, but his knowledge was based on the dictionary that he used to open. So it is try to learn dictionary, everyday keep a dictionary and every day read it, newspaper, books, because you will learn words in the context. And you can plus one GRE word list, plus word power made easy, books like this. And one more thing you can do is you can learn word formation, how words are formed. And words can be converted from one part to another. New words can be formed. So word formation, you can also work on it and it will be very helpful to you. Somebody try to convert words from one form to another, noun to verb, adjectives. So in this way, you will have some. And also study some words, etymology of some words, history and origin of those words. That could be helpful to you. So first is knowledge of words. Once you have enough knowledge of words, then you should move on to those words order, because how will you organize them? When you combine words and you arrange them together, and this group of words, if it makes sense and if it is in proper order, then this is called a sentence. So here starts the grammar of sentence. So word, function, and meaning of word, and then you come to the next. But when you study words, you should study them deeply, because when you use words, students they learn the first meaning only and then they move ahead. No, if you are studying words, study them deeply. For example, what is this? It's a table. Usually people say it's noun. Yes, it is mostly used as noun, but not always. This table is noun, but can be used as a verb. The bill was tabled. This board is noun, but not always. Yes, it is noun, but not always. It is a board. I'm writing on the board, but we can say that he boarded on the bus. Now here board will be a verb. Similarly, room, we are like in this room, and mostly it's used as a noun, classroom, drawing room. This is a room, a big room, small room, but it can be used as a verb, such as my cousin came and he did not stay with us. He roomed himself in a hotel. Or please don't come, there's no room. There's no room. Plot. Well, this is a plot, piece of land, and plot can be plot of the story. What is the plot of the story? What is the main event in the story? Similarly, plot can also be like the Prime Minister said, somebody is plotting against my government. What is this? Desert. Desert is noun, but it can be after bomb blast, the city was deserted, or after COVID-19, this coronavirus, major cities, markets, they are deserted. They are schools, colleges, universities, they are deserted, means abandoned. Similarly, record is usually noun, but it can be recorded. I am recording this lecture for students. Those people who cannot come, most of the people they cannot come because schools are closed. So markets, everything. So we are recording it. Now here, the word record is verb, not noun. List, give me the list of items. It can be list, but we can also use the ship was listed, means tilted towards one side. So that is why when you are studying words, you should study them deeply. It should not be just a study that is superficial study, so that you have proper understanding with words. Then comes sentence, corrections, punctuation, direct and indirect prepositions. So these questions will deal with grammar. So here, number one, you should study article. First thing that you need to work on is the article. After article, you should study tenses, present, past, future, present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and perfect continuous. After that, you should study the active voice and passive voice. After that, direct and indirect. Similarly, sentences, clauses, simple sentence, compound, complex sentences like these, you can learn them. And then once you are good at grammar, there's also another easy method, and that is grammar books. There are a lot of books that people are studying, like Michael Swan's book, Practical English Usage. That's a very good book, but it's difficult. If you don't have background knowledge or you haven't learned grammar at school or college, it will be difficult. So what is the best approach, easiest, is Brendan Martin. In India, this book is used for school level, and that's a very good book. Number one, read the chapter. How to do it? First, read the chapter. After reading the chapter, then solve the exercise. And then there is a key. The key is available. You can solve the exercise and check from the key the answers. And if you don't have the book, you can WhatsApp me or leave a message. I can send you on WhatsApp. Or you can download from the website. It's available. It is very easy to get. And you can also buy it from the market. But if you cannot buy, I can provide that book to you in PDF form. So you can read that book, and that will be very useful. During these, especially during the lockdown, every student should finish read and margin. Then comes, after this, then come paragraph. So then you start translation. Number one, the news and the junk, these two newspapers, usually they have similar stories, same stories in Urdu and English. So first read the story in Urdu, select one story every day, translate that into English, and then read and check the same story, like Hamid Mir or these people that give story to Urdu and English both. So first read Urdu, translate, don't read English. Translate into English, and then read the news and see the same story and check. So that is the best approach which you can do. Or you can watch CNN, BBC, DWTV documentary, like on COVID-19. These days, a lot of videos. You can watch 2 to 3 minutes clip, and then start writing in English. Don't then listen to it. And then check on the website, the same news which is given, and see what is your level of understanding. So you can work on it properly so that you are independent learner. You are not a dependent learner. Because in order to get through this exam, it's a very difficult exam. So if you want to, you have to be independent, and you have to really work, understand these questions and what is the dimensions and mechanics in which they work. It is like a very complex exam. After like translation, then you can solve past papers or translation paragraphs. Here, translation can also start with knowledge of words, Urdu and English, bilingual. Like you should be bilingual, you should know the words meaning in Urdu and Urdu to English. Then sentence translation you can do. And after that, you can come to paragraph translation. Directly don't start paragraph writing. And some idioms, phrasal verbs, plus you can also learn some sayings and proverbs. In Urdu, sometimes in the passage may be given, so proverbs translation becomes a bit tough. After that, you will go to reading comprehension, Tracy. These questions are left. So out of Tracy and reading, first reading comprehension, then Tracy. Reading comprehension, what is the best approach? Step number one is read stories. If you have younger brothers and sisters, they have English books, teach them the story, and then reading comprehension questions, solve them. Similarly, there are some poems which are given. Read the poem and solve the questions. Teach your younger brothers and sisters during these days especially. it could be really helpful to you and to them as well. And if you have any problem, you can go to Oxford website and resource for teachers. There you can check the answers, but don't check before solving them. First solve them and then you should check. And in addition to this, there are many books, interesting books. For example, one book is Unusual Stories. Unusual Stories. In your free time, read in this book, unusual stories are given. You can read the story and then answer the questions, solve them. There are 13, 14 chapters in this book, so there are many other such books where you can. Somebody read stories, read books, and that will be like number one, you should improve read. Number two, improve your reading skill. Number three, reading with a purpose. And that is where you have to attempt these passages. So you can attempt the passages and then try to solve past papers. When you solve past papers, number one, first read the passage, understand the main ideas, then read the questions, underline the keywords in the questions, locate, like usually students, they try to find out the answer. No, first thing is read the question, underline the keywords, and locate the keywords in the text. And then you should try to find out the answers. Like if in the question there is what, when, where, why. So when means time, where means place, why means reason, who means person. Or sometimes there are obvious keywords in the question like Punjab, Sindh, India. These are 1974. They are easy to locate, so you can locate them. So try to find out the keywords in the question, try to locate them in the text, and then find out what is given and what is missing. When you juxtapose the question statement with the statement that you have located in the text, when you juxtapose them, when you place them side by side, you'll be able to find out what is the answer in it. So that is the best approach that you can follow. And after that, solve the reading comprehension passages and then get them checked and discuss them. And keep in mind that your words and your sentences are also important. You should not copy them. You should not copy those. Try to be original, write yourself. And then comes praise. Now, this is the last thing, and this is the most important thing. And after doing all this, it'll be easy. Why? Because you have a cover, you understand your grammar, and you have solved reading comprehension passages as well. So now it will be easy because you have solved the questions, you have also read instructions, and that will be good. Now, for basic reading, what is the first thing? First thing is don't newspaper every day. Every day, select one article, read the article. Number one. Check what is given in the introduction, because usually introductory paragraph tells us about the passage or the article. Number two, each paragraph. Check how many paragraphs are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each paragraph locates the central idea, usually the opening line or the closing sentence. That contains the key idea. So try to locate that key idea in the text. And after reading it, then you will have to write down those, recall to your mind and write down the ideas. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In paragraph 1, this was the idea. Paragraph 2, 3, 4. So in this way, try to make notes. And then you can check. So this exercise should be done every day. Like you should convert down newspaper, one article down newspaper into 6, 7, or 8 lines. Just 8 sentences. Each paragraph into one sentence. After doing that, then you will go to test series. You should take tests of question number 1, synonyms, full test of synonyms. Antonyms, full test of antonyms. Précis, full practice and test of antonyms. Reading comprehension, number 1, practice of 15 to 20 passages and then test. Similarly, punctuation, that there should be tests separate. And then after that, mock exam. Full length test, like exam, real exam. So this is the best approach that you should follow. But you should think about, students should think about their own planning, and then they should discuss and share with their teachers. And then the second part is essay paper. Well, when it comes to essay paper, there are 10 topics. There are 10 topics which you have to work on. And these 10 topics are on diverse topics. They are Essay. Number one, instructions are here. Instructions are number one about the word limit. About the word limit. Number two, about different genre or style of writing. Like first word limit is 3,000 words. Between 2,500 to 3,000 words, between 25 to 3,200 words. So your target is 3,000 words. You should focus on our target writing 3,000 words in 3 hours. Then style, like description, narration, arguments, how to write these different things. You should work on these different styles, how to write description, how to write narration, how to write expository writing or exposition, how to write reflective essay, how to write an argument. So these different styles will also be checked. In addition to this, your syntax and morphology or mechanics, sentence structure, use of article, and these things will be checked. Tenses, active, passive, direct, indirect. These things will be checked in the essay indirectly, because if you make a mistake, it will be counted. It will be counted. If you don't use an article where it's needed, that will be counted. So you will have to work on it. And then another point which has been added recently, first it was not added, that is, it should be well researched. Research based. And one more instruction. First, there were no instructions about making outline. If you look at previous papers, past papers. First, instructions, in the instruction, outline was not included. If students, they wanted to make an outline, fine. Otherwise, it was not compulsory. But now, they have given instructions on the outline as well. On the outline. So what you have to do, point number one, this is the prerequisites. Prerequisites are vocabulary. You should have good grammar. You must be able to write in simple but correct English. Number two, these styles of writing. Descriptive writing, narrative writing, expository writing, argumentative writing. You should know about them. What are these writings? Number three, you should know about the topics and make an outline about them. Topics, make an outline, and then you will have to do research. So, list of topics. Number one, first topic, women. Always, like you'll have, search broader areas. If you look at it, number one is women. Always this topic is taken. Number two, current affairs. 2 to 3 topics can be given on current affairs. Number three, governance. One topic is governance and economy and taxation. Now, this is a big issue, and taxation. This is big. And some topics can be from your subjects, like political science and international relations. Those topics are given. Or you can say that issues or arguments. Argumentative statements can be from literature or from other things. So these can be given where you have to, usually the debates, you can take those argumentative topics and you can work. Because mostly the structure of this paper is now changing. And over the past 5 to 10 years, the whole essay, CSS essay that has evolved into argument and issue based or discussionist. Like if the topic is democracy, hopes and hurdles, it means there are 2 bigger parts. One part will be about hopes, the other about hurdles. It's a discussionist. If it's about colonial mindset or colonial legacies impeding Pakistan's progress, then it means it's an argumentative. You will have to either support it or you will have to oppose it. Or feminism is not a third world issue. It means you will have to either support it or you have to go against it. Or if the topic is war and terror has contributed to human rights abuse, it means that you have to either support it or. So you need to work on these things. What is the way forward for this essay preparation? Well, in essay preparation, number one, first, vocabulary. You must have sound vocabulary if you want to. In vocabulary, words plus terms, important terms. because you will need to use those proper terms in your, usually from politics and other topics. Like you can use proper terms, Latin, Greek, Roman, French, usually terms. They can be English terms, they can be very helpful to you. And you can also here add some quotations. But those quotations should not be tried. In the essay, you can use quotations, but new, like unheard of, not those quotations which are very common and everybody knows about them. You can not create a very good impression using a quotation that everybody knows and everybody has used. So that's called cliche or try. Don't use them. Overused quotations should be avoided. And after that, you will have your knowledge of grammar. Number 2, mechanics. You will have to revise the grammar of words, morphology, and syntax, like proper sentence structure. That is the key. And after that, step number 3, that is different styles of writing. Writing styles. You should know, like descriptive writing, argumentative writing, narrative writing, exposition writing. You should know writing short essays about them. And that could be like, you can write short essay on descriptive writing. Take one small topic and describe it. Like describe this room, describe your city, describe the pyramid of Egypt, describe any other thing. And this is like description. You can work on physical description of things, process description of things, or spatial description, chronological description, narration. Take an incident or event like how World War II occurred, or what caused World War I, or Pearl Harbor, how it happened. One incident or event you can take, or COVID-19, how it started. You can write take one topic, small topic, and write a story on it. Or earthquake that happened in Pakistan, the earthquake that jolted Pakistan, or any other one topic. So you can take one topic, small topic, and some of the arguments you can start writing small arguments, like child labor should be abolished or not. Simple topic. Develop an argument based on that child labor should be abolished or no, it should not abolished. Gender discrimination, like do you think gender is a myth or reality? Start from easier topics, short essays, and then you will have to go ahead. And number 4, then after that, work on different parts of the essay. How to write introduction, how to write body paragraph, and how to write conclusion. So basically, paragraph writing. One paragraph, one topic, one paragraph. Start with paragraph writing. And then number 5, select topics. Select topics. Select some of the topics from current affairs, from about women, about taxation, about economy, about like past papers, expected essays. You can select some of the topics and make outlines of those essays. Like outlines, making outlines. Make outlines. Select topics and outlines. Outlines is number 1, topic. Number 2, thesis. Number 3, introduction. Number 4 paragraph will be about background. Then arguments. Arguments for the topic. 1, 2, 3. Arguments against, counter arguments. Counter arguments. Here, if you're writing an argument, it doesn't mean that you should support only your side of the story, because CSS essay examiner wants you to write to discuss the essay from multiple angles, not just from one angle. It should not be a lopsided story. You can take your position, but it doesn't mean that you will not discuss the other side. Of course, you will discuss, but your position will be from the very beginning. You'll be clear, because overall you will have a definite point of view, and for that you need to discuss different options. If you just discuss only your side of the story and you don't even consider the other side, the essay will not be logical and rational. So taking a position on a topic does not mean that you will not entertain the opposite view. You will discuss, but your position will remain the same. You will counter the other arguments. You will discuss and you will counter them. So here, counter arguments must be included, and then conclusion. After that, you will start writing the essay. Start writing the essay. Make an outline, select one topic, the topic that you know more about, not the important topic. Make an outline. After that, do some research. Here, you will have to making outlines plus research. Updated information. You must have number one ideas, and then to substantiate those ideas, you will have to. You know, if you look at, I'll give you a couple of examples. Number one, Gambisa. If you look at Gambisa, and if you look at other ulama karam, I watch television, I watch videos. Gambisa, whenever he takes a position, number one, he is clear. Number one is clear. No matter how difficult the topic is. In one of these videos I was watching, he said there is no concept of Taragi in Islam. We were confused, and then he started substantiating. I was watching him sitting with another great scholar. I have great respect for that. I will not name that person because I respect and love him. But I saw there was a difference. He had a clear point of view from the very beginning. The examiner asked a question, he had a clear view. He had a clear understanding, clear perception. Gandhi Sahib gave very clear answer, and then he substantiated. The other scholar was also a great scholar, but number one, when the question was asked, he was not clear. He articulated his opinion as if he was not clear about it, and then he used to substantiate it, but not in that convincing manner in which Gandhi Sahib convinces us. So he can, he gives opinion about any topic. You ask him about the topic, he'll give his opinion, and then he'll substantiate. Number one, he's clear. Number two, he substantiates. And sometimes his positions they cause controversy. But he clears his about COVID-19 when coronavirus started. Ulama Karam, including great scholars, again, I will not take the name of that scholar as well because he's a great scholar. And but he couldn't give proper answer. Ramli was the only person who gave a clear answer to it. And then he substantiated it. He provided material from the sources, and then he answered. And number two, his sources are authentic. The Quran, and then Hadith. And so, this is what you have to do in essay. Number one, no matter how controversial the topic is, you must have a clear position. Number two, substantiating. Number three, authentic sources. So what you have to do, number one, you should be clear. Number two, by essay writing, number one, you should be clear. Number one, clarity is the key. Number two, you must be correct. Just giving opinion is not enough. Correctness will be when you can substantiate, when you can provide evidence. And number three, if you have done the first two, now you are a credible person. So you cannot fail. Number one, clarity. Number two, correctness. Number three, credibility. That is what you need to do. Second example is GPS with Fareed Zakaria. GPS with Fareed Zakaria. You can see. Number one, I like the format of his program on CNN every Sunday. You must watch that program every Sunday. On our YouTube, you can watch the program called the Global One or Climate Change or these sort of programs, not on politics, because your exam will deal deep, like such a political topic will be 1 or 2. There will be like economy, everything. So you have to really work like Dr. Zakir Naik. People can ask, there are thousands of people, they ask any question and he's prepared. He tells them that this is the book that you have read and these are the objections, so stop, I tell you the question as well. You should be well prepared like Dr. Zakir Naik. When the people ask questions, he starts giving answer and you feel that the person is well read. Ahmed Dida, Zakir Naik and such people. So what you have to do, you should be well prepared, and when you are going to I like this program, Fareed Zakaria's program, GPS. It's on CNN, you must watch. Here, the format of that program is very good. Number one, he starts the introduction of that. He tells the topic. Number two, he gives his opinion. Number three, he invites guests. His guests are highly qualified people, educated people, learned people. And then he discusses. In the end, he includes one general knowledge question and one book. So you must, and then he gives a link to his column as well in leading English American newspapers. So it will be good for you. You will learn the art of discussion. Because essay writing it's a huge 3,000 words. So for that, you need to prepare. It is not that you take a pen and paper and start writing. Yes, if you have exceptional ability, you can, but most of the people, Shakespeare says, some people are born great. If you're born great, that's okay. But others achieve greatness. Some people are born great, but others achieve. And there are a third group as well, which, greatness is just upon them. But we are not among those. So first thing is, some people are born great, while others achieve greatness. in CSS essay paper, we have to achieve greatness. We have to achieve it, we have to work on it, and we'll have to do a lot of research on the topic. And after doing that research, then that outline will be converted into essay in such a way that, number one, introduction, number two, background, one paragraph background, number three, arguments for the topic or one bigger chunk of the essay, and then the other parts of the essay or paragraphs, and then in the end conclusion. But it should be in such a way that there should be no contradiction. It is like you should be realistic while discussing. You must highlight all the problems, but you should not live in a fool's paradise, or you should not be emotional. It should be rational. Always, that's why I include the example of Ramdisar, because he's rational. His voice, he does not start shouting at the other people. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't get confused. He is confident. And similarly, Fareed Zaki is probably well prepared. Zakir Naik is well prepared. He provides answers and he provides evidence. So always work on it, and you must be clear. You must have enough material, and then you should develop it properly. Develop it properly. Your outline will be important, and then writing the essay, that is important. So this is when we are going to prepare this. This was about the essay paper. So in the essay paper, what will be the approach? Well, the approach will be very simple. Number one, words, vocabulary. Number two, grammar. Number three, that is writing parts of the essay like introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, conclusion, and then selection of topics, then making outlines. And before that, different essay writing styles like description, narration, argument, writing chart. And after doing that, making outlines, then doing a lot of research, and then you will start writing the essays. And here, there will be, like when you're writing, I think the best approach for essay writing is, after doing all these things, what you need to do is, number one, you can write short essays. Your approach should be, number one, short essays of 400 to 500 words, not more than that. After that, you should write medium range essays. Then you can increase the word limits. So these will be medium range essays. First short essays, then medium range essays, and then you will go to long. So medium, and then you will go to long essays. Step by step, like this change should be gradual. It should be gradual. Gradual and consistent, regular. You will have to do these things regularly. It should not be irregular. It should be gradual and consistent effort. You should, you have to do it gradually and regularly. And one more point when you're writing the essay, that is, always write your essay in 3 parts. Number one, planning. Number two, writing. Number three, editing. First thing is, you should plan the essay. Planning should be like you should plan what will be your introduction. How many body paragraphs will you write? Where will you put the transition paragraph? And what will you write in the conclusion? And according to that, you will make your outline. Like introduction, topic, thesis, then main points for body paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then conclusion. So first, you can make topic outlines here in words or phrases. Then you can convert them into sentences. Like you can make sentence outlines. Sentence outlines. And after that, then writing. Here you will have to organize that information. And editing is here you will check for errors. After writing, you will have to check for errors. Errors in spellings, grammar, punctuation, and all other errors you will have to check. And that is how you are going to write a proper essay. And planning, or like the same step, like first plan, then write, and then edit. Yet editing, you can also check if there is something missing, you can add. If there is something extra, you can delete. If you think, no, the idea is good, but I couldn't put it properly, you can modify. Modify or alter. Modify or alter it. You can alter or you can modify it. You can alter or you can modify it. So this is the best approach. Number one, plan, write, and edit. These are three steps that you have. And this is at home. At home, you have 1 week, 2 weeks, 15 days. You have a lot of time. And in exam, here planning, then writing, and this will be coming. At home, you can name it differently. You can name it as number one, pre-writing stage. Pre-writing stage. 3 stages. At home, pre-writing stage. You can brainstorm. Ask yourself questions. Think about the topic. You can do mind mapping. You can read books. You can search the internet. You discuss with people. So that is brainstorming. Then you will have to organize it in introduction, body paragraph, conclusion, and write it. And then you will incorporate it. So writing, pre-writing, writing, and then this one will be called rewriting stage. Rewriting stage. And when you are writing the essay, always write the essay into number one. First thing, select the topic. Number two, make a thesis statement about the topic. An outline. Number one, select the topic. Number two, make the outline. Number three, convert each point of your outline. Each point given in the outline, convert it into a sentence. And then convert this topic outline into sentence outline. And after that, this sentence will become the opening sentence of your body paragraph. Opening sentence of your body paragraph. So you can develop that paragraph on that, but words should be different. Points will be the same. And write essay in the same sequence in which you have given the points of your outline. It must be in the same sequence. We should not change the sequence. And when you make outline, always first start from short outlines, and then you can write more. So whenever you're writing, you should first write short outlines like 8 points, 6 points, and then 10 points, then 12 points. And like what some students do, they write very big outlines, and then they cannot develop all the points into essays. And that is not a good approach. The best approach is you should develop an outline of 6 to 8 points, and then you can convert that outline into an essay, and then you can same points, 8 points, 8 paragraphs, 9 points, 9 paragraphs. You can. But when you're writing the essay, this is one major problem, that the students, they are obscure. There should be no obscurity. There should be clarity, confusion, ambiguity. There should be no. Always remember that you have to develop a definite point of view. And how can you develop? When in the beginning you know about it. When in the beginning you know about it. And always remember, the essay is like a whole. Like it's like an organism. An organism is complete, having all organs. Essay should have all parts. It is connected. Different organs are connected, so different parts should be connected. And number three, like my all organs make a human. Your all organs make a tree. All parts make a tree. Buffalo, all parts make a horse. All parts make a horse. Mouse, all parts make a mouse. So your essay, different parts should make that essay. What happens, one part is of elephant, the other part is of mouse, the other part is of horse, so that does not make an essay. Overall, examiner, if you take a holistic view, it should look like one particular whole, not different parts in it. And last point about the essay is C. C stands for clarity. C stands for correctness. C stands for credibility. C stands for comprehensiveness. C stands for completeness. So it should be complete, comprehensive, like from multiple angles, not missing anything. And clear from the very beginning that what you are going to write. What is the topic? What are you going to write? Because mostly students don't understand the topic. You must understand the topic and then clear. You should be clear, you should be correct, you should be credible, you should be comprehensive, you should be complete as well. And connected. Different parts should be well connected. Last word, have you watched the movie of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button? If you look at that movie, in that movie, Benjamin Button, it's about reverse aging. There is a boy, he is born old and he grows younger and younger. Beautiful boy, theme-based. And he grows younger. First, what happens to him? When he's born, his family says, oh, kill him, he is a monster. Then he's sent to the old home over there. He grows younger, and there is a girl there. She is growing. She lives nearby, so she's growing older. He's growing younger. They grow adult at the same time. They fall in love. They get married, and they have a daughter. The daughter is growing up. The father is growing younger. One day, the wife sees, and she says, "You have to leave." He leaves. In the end, he grows younger, and somebody takes him to the same old home, and they see the diary, and the diary they call his wife. That there is a child, you have lost your child. She said, yes, we have. So she comes and she takes her husband into her hands, and that he grows younger and younger than an infant, and he dies in the hands of his wife. Meryl Streep and Brad Pitt. There are different actors. Brad Pitt movie, it's a wonderful movie, and if you have time, what is the message from that movie? The message is, in that movie, reverse aging, everything is the same. 99%. Everything is the same. But one point is different. Everything is the same. He's born, he dies, he marries, he has friends, he fights, he goes to World War II, he does different jobs, he is successful in some of the things, he fails in other things as well. Like really what we normal people do, everything. But one thing is different. Only one. 99.9% is the same. But only 1%, and that is reverse aging, and his whole life is destroyed. So your essay is same. One thing. If that is you have to keep in mind that you have to keep in mind everything in that. Last point is, when you study poems, dramas, movies, they are on the same topic, but they are different. Same topic, but they are different. Yes, different. And each creative artist expresses the same topic differently. For example, if the topic is life, if you see Wordsworth, what he says about life? He says, life is the fusion of ache and grief. Wordsworth, Shakespeare says, life is nothing but the way you think. Or in Hamlet, he says, whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing enemy. William Blake, he says, in the face of every person I see marks of sufferings, marks of war. P.B. Shelley, he says, he defines life as a tragedy. He says, oh, lift me as a wave, a leaf, a cloud. I fall upon the thorns of life, I bleed. Similarly, he also says, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? And Thomas Hardy was a very famous novelist. He defined life as, in life, he thought that happiness does not exist. So he said, happiness is an occasional episode in the tragic drama of life. So different people, they define life differently. Allama Iqbal, he defined life in the most beautiful way. In his poem, Zindagi, in Payam al-Mashriq, he says, Shabezar, the title of the poem is also Zindagi. Shabezar Nali Dabre Bahar, Ki Zindagi Giriye Kahmas. He says, the whole night, the cloud of spring season kept him weeping and said, this life is the other name of weeping. Darafshid Barkis Ruk Se Rukuf, Khada kar dahi kandai yaktamas. In the meanwhile, the lightning struck and said, "You have misconstrued my light. Look, I shine. That's why." Last two lines are equally beautiful. Iqbal says, "When the next morning I went to my garden, I had the same conversation between the flower and the dewdrop. Nadanam bagulshan ke burne khabar. Who brought this news from the skies to the earth? I heard the same conversation. Nadanam bagulshan ke burne khabar. Suhanha mayani gurushamas. The same conversation of life about life was going on between the dewdrop and the flower. The dewdrop was saying, "Oh, my life is like a tear, tragic." And the flower smiled and said, "No, life is not." Faz also defines life very beautifully. He says, "Matae laho kalam chin gayi to kya bana? कि खून दिल में डबोली है उंगलियां मैंने जुबान पे मोहर लगी है तो क्या रखती है हर एक हल्का जंजीर में जुबान." You know, look at the resistance in tough conditions. And another lines, they are also equally beautiful. Faz says, "दिल से पहम ख्याल कहता है कितनी शीरीं है जिंदगी इस पल जुल्म का जहर घोलने वाले कामरा हो सके हैं आज न कल जल बगाए विसाल की शमी कर चुके हैं अगर वो गुल भी तो क्या चांद को गुल करें हम जा." You know, the moon, the eternal hope. Another line he says, "बला से हमने न देखा तो और देखेंगे फरोगे गुलशन सौते हजार का मौसम." Another Urdu poem is Dusra Kinara. In that, it's about life. And the poet says that there's a young boy, he's standing at this corner and he wants to go the other bank. You know, the other bank is always greener. That is the theme. And when he reaches there, what happens? The poem ends. And Dusra Kinara poem ends and in these words, मैं उस किनारे पे जाके उतरा तो उस किनारे मैं उस किनारे पे जाके उतरा तो उस किनारे भी रेत के जर्रे जल रहे थे और उनके सीनों पे चंद कदमों के महक होते हुए निशान थे। मुझे वो मिटते हुए निशान ये बता रहे थे कि इस किनारे पे रहने वाले अभी अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कहीं किसी दूसरे किनारे की जस्तजू में समंदरों में उतर गए। Faz, the example, this is, you know, life, same topic, but every poet has defined it differently, you know, everyone. So that is called personal stamp, you know, personal imprint, personal touch. That is what makes your essay different and original. So your essay must have your imprint on it. The examiner should feel that the essay is different. As Robert Frost says, two paths diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled path. Or when Shah Shams Tabrizi came to Multan, he was given a cup full of milk. It means that there is no room to go to some of the. He took a flower and he floated on the cup and sent it back. That, you know, I know it's tough competition, but I'm going to survive. And this is what makes your essay different. You must stand out, and that is the key. And why I gave the examples of poems, there's another reason as well. One boy, he got 165 out of 150 in English paper. University of the Punjab. The teacher was British, not Pakistani teacher. You know, they have the authority. He was asked to change. He said no. Then he was told to give explanation for these marks because 150, 165 in some books, 163 some in it is written the 165. So I chose to share 165. That is more inspiring. He got 165 or 150 because the examiner, he wrote explanation. He said, I gave him 165 out of 150 because I could not give him more. And this incident is real. And this incident was read out when that same boy went to Moscow, and over there he was given Lenin Prize. The name of that boy is Faz. The paper was English, University of the Punjab. So it is possible you can get very good marks, more than 100% marks. And so if you're preparing for CSS, don't worry, be original, work hard, and you can get it. But doing all this, remember simple things. Number one, people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. You must have proper planning. Number two, proceed positively. Number three, have positive mental attitude. And every day, consistent effort. Oprah Winfrey, she was a very poor girl, but she became successful. She was asked, she said, I had nothing. I had no beauty, but one day I saw the sun rising and I got the answer. I always was worried about, there must be something that would be helpful to me. And I got the answer that, this time is my secret. This is my capital. So she said, I started using it. So I made a formula. And the formula is doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment. So every day, this moment, this hour, this day is yours. And during this Corona epidemic. This is make the best use of your time and your talents. Work on it. So I wish you best of luck. Thank you very much for being so patient. See you again soon in another class with another video, and hopefully this will be helpful to you. I wish you best of luck. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and take care of yourself and your family.